So you're considering moving to Crystal River, Florida, and you want to know if it's right for you. Today I'm going to be going over 5 things that you should be aware of before making your move to Crystal River. I've lived here for 18 years, and so I'm truly speaking from experience. And for those of you that don't know, my name is William O'Neill, and in this channel we go over what it's like to live, eat, sleep, work, play, literally everything you need to know about living on the nature coast of Florida, primarily in Citrus and Marion counties. So if that's the information you're looking for, make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. But we're just going to kick this thing right off. So moving into number 1, it's pretty obvious, I think. You know, it's hot in Florida. We're in Florida. Florida is one of the hottest states in the US. So just keep in mind, anything left in your car is going to get hot. Things will melt. These items include things like drinks, bottled water, chapstick, lotion, stuff like that. And if you have leather seats, you might burn your butt, so consider getting some seat covers. But you know, there is a flip side to all this. All this weather makes for good days at the springs. Our local springs are like 72 year round, and you can go swim in there. Often we have manatees swimming by there. Like, I took this video of this manatee myself swimming at Hunter Springs, and that's right there in Crystal River. You got Kings Bay. So definitely a lot of outdoor activities here. Or you can just stay inside with the AC cranked, either way. So moving on to number 2, it's gonna be bugs and wildlife. Bugs and wildlife go hand in hand with Florida's nature coast. So some of the things you should be aware of are mosquitoes and no-see-ums, especially along the coast. The no-see-ums will tear you up. They do not play. Some things you can do to help mitigate that is maybe some bug spray with some DEET in it, or one of those thermocells to help keep the mosquitoes away. The next pest you should be aware of are fire ants. These little ants are very aggressive, and when they bite you, they leave what looks like a little pimple, and some people are highly allergic to fire ants. Then of course we have snakes. I've lived in Florida my whole life, here in Crystal River for 18 years. And I've never been viciously attacked by a snake. Typically they only attack if they feel threatened. So whenever I see a snake, I just go the other direction. You know, we have water moccasins and rattlesnakes. We do have other snakes as well that are not venomous that eat the bad snakes, like you know, black racers and I think some of the king snakes and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. I will say though, if you're walking in a heavily wooded area and there's a lot of pine trees and palm fronds, like, definitely watch where you step. We also have spiders, such as brown recluses and black widows. Those are the 2 worst types that we have here. But we also have a variety of non-venomous spiders as well, such as the wolf spider. And I'll tell you, one time I stepped on a wolf spider that had an egg sac on it, and then after I stepped on it, a bunch of little baby spiders came out of the egg sac, and they got everywhere. So if you see a wolf spider or a spider with an egg sac on it, do not step on it, because then you'll have a bunch of baby spiders running everywhere. There are also these tussock moth caterpillars that look harmless, but these little guys, their hairs can cause severe skin irritation or allergic reactions, and they are everywhere for a couple months out of the year. In caterpillar season, they love oak trees and citrus trees, and just for a few months there, they're everywhere. Like love bugs. Love bugs, for a few months of the year, they're everywhere as well. Although love bugs won't bite you or harm you in any way, they do get all over your car when you're driving down the road. One thing you can do is, you know, maybe during love bug season, keep your car waxed to help kind of mitigate some of the love bugs from getting on your car. And of course, we have alligators. So in Florida waters, you always have a chance of encountering an alligator. I've been swimming around here a lot, and I typically don't go swimming in water I can't see through, and I just avoid certain bodies of water altogether unless I'm in a boat. So just some things to keep in mind. Like, I've been swimming there at Hunter Springs, and I've never seen a gator there. Now moving on to number 3, and that is allergies. It's like every season is allergy season in Florida. Florida is one of the worst states for allergies, but one thing you can do to kind of help mitigate some of the allergies possibly is get some local honey and eat that, and it might help build your immunity to the local pollen. But other than that, if you have bad allergies, this might not be the spot for you. Now moving on to number 4, and that is going to be hurricanes. In Florida, there's a very real possibility of hurricanes since the hurricane season is 6 months out of the year. Some tips that you can take to help make sure you're prepared is getting stuff that you need in advance, because as soon as there's a warning or any kind of that, you know, once people know that there's a hurricane coming, they all rush to the store and there's huge lines and you can't get anything. So having stuff in advance really helps. Making sure you have enough water for a few days in case we lose power. Pulling cash out of the ATMs in case, you know, the ATMs lose power. Getting plywood to board up your windows or shutters for your windows. Getting gas for your generators, stuff like that. Having non-perishable foods on hand, all this really helps. Trim back any trees or shrubs, anything that can blow around. Put away any kind of anything in the yard that may blow around and damage anything. Having a manual can opener, you should definitely have one of those in case you lose power. Also, filling up your bathtubs and other jugs with water. In case you lose power, you can use the water in the bathtub to flush your toilet so you can still use the restroom. Make sure you have any kind of pet food or baby supplies or anything like that you're going to need in advance. Make sure you have spare batteries for your flashlights and stuff like that. Another helpful tip is knowing your evacuation zones. I've seen the past few hurricanes here in Crystal River, 19 gets completely flooded. So any kind of buildings out that way, they all got a lot of water in them from the storm surge. And so it's helpful to kind of take precautions. I'm not saying every building out there got flooded. You know, some of them have a high enough elevation that they didn't, or that they were built up on stilts or blocks, so they didn't. But, you know, definitely something to be aware of if you're shopping for a house in that area. Definitely keep that in mind. When hurricanes come, and they will come, make sure you're at a high enough elevation you're not going to get flooded. That is one of the reasons I am further away from the coast. I'm like 7 miles away from the coast. I've never had any kind of flooding issues where I'm at. So that brings us to our fifth point, our final topic today, and that is just flooding in general. Crystal River is kind of a flooding town. Not even during a hurricane. I mean, just lots of heavy rain sometimes can flood certain areas. And I will say, a couple years back, there was a spot on Citrus Avenue that was completely underwater, not from a storm surge or anything, just from constant rain. There were literally trucks floating down the road. That was pretty insane. I'd lived here for 18 years and I had never seen that before. That was the first time I saw that portion of town get flooded the way it did, just from the rain. So that's pretty crazy. Okay, so if I haven't scared you away by now, I must say that I really do enjoy living here. I really like the beautiful landscapes, the big oak trees, the springs, the water. Crystal River really does have a lot to offer. Citrus County in general has a lot to offer. I also enjoy that it's not as busy as some of the bigger cities in Florida. It's kind of, you know, a smaller town, but still has a lot to offer. Especially if you're an outdoor enthusiast and enjoy the water and fishing and stuff like that. Seafood, there's a lot of seafood around here. A lot of places to eat that's on the water. A lot of stuff to do, kayaking, fishing, scallop season. I also have seen and experienced firsthand how the community can pull together in hard times and in times of crisis. And for me, that is huge. I mean, it really does have that kind of southern hospitality, small town vibe. And that's a big deal for me. If you're considering moving or relocating to this region of Florida, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, whatever you got to do to get a hold of me, and let me know how I can help you. I really love my job. I love helping you guys accomplish your real estate goals. You know, helping you place you guys in the right spot is what I'm here for. Like, there's a lot to, especially if you're coming from another state and you've only seen this place, you know, you've only seen it from videos or from reading about it on the computer. There's a lot that a local agent can help you establish when moving to this area. Like, you know, some people enjoy being close to the water and that sort of thing, but other people want to be further away from the coast. They want to be at higher elevation. Some people want to be right on the water. Some people want an HOA, no HOA. So if you reach out to us, what that would look like is we're gonna just have a phone call or a Zoom conference and really go over what it is that you want, what you like, what you don't like, so I can help place you in the right spot so that you can actually enjoy your time when you're here. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is when you use a real estate agent to represent you when you're buying a home or land, or any transaction really, that most of the time our fees are covered by out of the seller's expenses. So you get to have professional representation without having to pay any extra for that. Most of the time it's covered by the seller. And when you give me a call, and we can go over all of this, I'll explain, I'll lay it all out for you. If you have any questions about where my fee is earned, or what to expect from me, all that is laid out in our consultation when we first meet. So thanks guys. Make sure you give me a call. Let me know how I can help you. Oh, and comment below where you guys are from, what you like about the area, what you don't like about the area, and make sure you subscribe so you can be part of the conversation.